What's going on, people? This is Shy Harrison. Today is another episode of Interviews with the Rebel. And today I am sitting down with acclaimed photographer, behind the scenes guru, kingpin of all wedding photographers.
You gotta chill, man.
I got my man Will Hawkins. How you doing today, bro?
What's happening with you, man? I'm gonna need you to come with me on in every room.
Nah, that's how you be doing it, man. Just trying to give you your proper accolades, right?
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, so I actually first met him probably early this year when one of my friends, Ryan Wynn, invited a whole bunch of creatives out for lunch.
Right.
And then we all just got, started to sit around in politics. I'm the type of guy that usually like super low key. I'm not really around too many creators outside of the people who I'm closely associated with. Mm-hmm. So it was a good time to meet you and a couple other guys. Marcus, sure. Josh. Yeah. I forgot who else was up, but Brandon Waters. Yeah. So it was a good time, and then I just started following you from that point on.
Right on, man.
You be out here really putting in work.
Got to, man. Got to.
Yeah. So I was telling my wife this other day. I feel like I respect hustle more than talent more.
For sure. So
when I see people out here like really getting it, no matter if I like their work or not, I'm always go to it.
For sure.
So when you got the talent to go along with the hustle, it's like I'm all the way locked in.
Right.
So for the people that don't know you, how would you describe yourself?
I'm a photographer, man. Like I'm a regular dude that's just got like something I'm chasing. Really? And I can't stop until I get it. That's just what it is.
So what are you chasing?
What am I chasing? Like, how can I put it? I guess infinite photography potential, man. Like everything is just a buildup of I was here at this point, and to me, I look at photography. I don't know if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so a saying, they fight, and each battle they get better and better. Right. So every time I pick up my camera, man, I'm out here. I'm trying to get better and better until there's nothing left. For me to do.
Trying to go Super Saiyan.
Going past it. Going past it, man.
Okay. I like that. I never really heard anybody break it down just like that. So
that was like my favorite thing when I was a kid.
For real?
Yeah.
I wish there was episodes I could watch right now.
I mean, it is, man. They all online for free.
We're gonna talk about that. I need that link. So, first question.
Right on.
I feel like music is a part of all our lives in some form of fashion. So, what do you feel like if you had to put a playlist together of 3, 4, 5 songs of your life and journey, career journey? What would those 3 songs be?
That's tough. Let's say, damn, man, it's hard. Started from the bottom.
Okay.
That's for sure. T.I. My Swag is a daily listen for me.
Okay.
Sheesh, man. 2 more. I don't know, man. I listen to
one more.
Mr. Carter.
Really?
Yep.
Why that song?
Because he's like on a track with Jay-Z, and then Jay-Z says he's like sitting on the throne next to his heir.
Okay.
So I look at all these older photographers out here, man, and I'm just trying to be on the same level as the guys that I look up to. So I don't want to fold and not have what it is I set out to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put me on the spot with them, bro. I couldn't think of nothing.
That's cool.
Real.
I like that answer, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's kind of get into it. So, how did you get started with, being a photographer?
I needed something to do out of high school. Got on the
Simple as that?
Simple as that. And I worked at a job that I hated from the time I was 16 up until the time I was 22.
What job was that?
It was Kantar Media. And I watched TV commercials all day long and coded in what I saw and heard on the TV. I mean, on the commercials.
I feel like from the outside looking in, that probably sounded like a dope job.
It was.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be there.
Really?
I was a terrible employee. I couldn't be there. I just like, y'all want me to do this. I'm just not the type of person where you can sit me down in a cubicle all day long and think I'm going to sit here and be okay with it. Like, I'm not okay with it. Like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so I needed something to do out of high school. I didn't finish high school. So I spent like 2 years from 17 to 19 just wandering around, figuring life out. And one day I was at my job and I watched, matter of fact, I made a post about it today, man. I was watching Jasmine Star on YouTube. Okay. And
I'm familiar.
Yeah, and she was talking about how she started in her wedding photography business. I'm like, wedding photography? You can make a living doing that? And from there on, man, I've been chasing it since I was 19 years old.
Really?
Yep.
So I know you said Jasmine Star. Who were some of the people when you first started out that you kind of like looked up to?
Her.
Really?
That was it.
That was it.
That was all I watched. That's all I listened to. Seriously, like I
just found out about her probably like 2 years ago.
Dude, I mean, like Creative Live was all I was on.
Really?
All of her stuff.
Chase Jarvis and
all of them, man. Like that, I was watching all of that. Whatever I could soak in and learn, but it was mainly her. I can't think of any other photographers at that point in my life that I was watching or listening to. It was her. Really? Yeah.
Okay. So what was your camera setup when you first started out?
I had a Nikon D3000. That was all I had.
Really?
It was in a speed light. That was it. I didn't even know how to use speed light.
Okay.
I didn't even know how to use it.
So did somebody like teach you how to shoot, or you just kind of like just picked up a camera?
I picked up the camera and just okay. So I got a camera. The first camera I ever got was the Nikon D3000, and I got that in August of 2011. When I first picked it up, I'm so used to like picking up like a digital camera at the time. Yeah. You pick it up and you think it's gonna be like the digital stuff on the back of the screen. That's how you take pictures. I didn't even know what manual mode was. So I spent 2 weeks making my own curriculum of teaching myself how to shoot in manual mode. And by the end of August going into September, I knew how to shoot in manual.
Really?
Yeah.
So you used to shoot in like auto?
I couldn't tell you what I was shooting. I didn't even know how to move the focus points. I didn't even know there were focus points in the camera. So everything I was shooting was coming out blurry. And I'm like, well, how is this happening? So everything that happens is always a question. Right. So I question it, and then it'll always lead to I got to go to Google. I got to figure this out. I'm going to go grab a book. And at the time, Ritz Camera was open in Lynn Haven Mall. I used to go and hang out in there every day after work. I would drive to Lynn Haven Mall after work, go in there and hang out. And they were like, are you ever going to buy something? I'm like, I ain't got no money to buy nothing. I just need like y'all to teach me how to use this camera. And they would teach me how to use it. And the lady even offered me a job at one point until the mall shut the store down. So I almost had that job, but
that'd have been a great job.
It would, man. Yeah. It would. And I would have been able to be around camera gear and learn. But I was going in there every day for like 2 months.
For real? Yeah. So when you first started, what were you primarily shooting?
Clubs. Yeah.
That's pretty much how everybody started out. Clubs or events?
Clubs. I don't even know events, man. I'm 19 in clubs I'm not even old enough to get into. I don't even know how I finessed it, but I just met some people and they were like, look, I got a photo booth. You can do the walk arounds. And I was charging $10 a picture for the printouts.
Well, so people actually print out pictures?
They was printing out pictures. And I'm telling you, like, that was the most money I had ever made at 19, 20 years old.
Because I'm thinking about when I was in the clubs and I used to see people, they used to just be like party paparazzi. You just go to the website and get your photo.
Word. And that's how it is now. Like, I know the owner of Party Paparazzi. I do too. Like, yeah, he that's my guy. We were just talking maybe a week ago, and that's how they do it now. People just go online and download it. Because I was asking about it. I was like, do people even print? He was like, man, that's dead. Yeah. That's dead. But back then, like 2011, 2012, that's what it was, man.
Okay.
I mean, you can make $600-800 in a weekend.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? To be 19, 20 years old.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man. But that's where it was my primary.
So when did you actually started to build a name for yourself?
The late 2012, I got tired of the club. So like I said, I was following Jasmine Star. She was the reason like I got into photography to begin with. Like from the beginning, it was always I got to go to LA. I'm gonna be a music video director, and I'm gonna write my own script. I got to get out of Virginia. I got to go to LA. But one day I sat down with myself when I was 19 after watching that video. I was like, if you could have whatever it is you wanted, what would make you happy? And I sat down and I thought to myself, like, if I could just own a studio in Virginia Beach and take pictures the rest of my life, I'd be cool. I'm cool with that. So I knew staying in the club, that wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. So I was like, man, I got to get a wedding portfolio. So I'm on Craigslist, reaching out to people and doing all type of stuff. And I met this lady, and she gave me a chance to second shoot with her. So that was my first wedding. That was July of 2012. So
did you realize that, like, how did you know that wedding photography was where you wanted to go with? Did you just see her doing it?
I saw Jasmine doing it.
Okay.
And I don't know, man. I just thought that was just the way to go.
Really?
I saw how much money you could make doing it. And I was like, I'm going to go after this.
Because I know when I first started, I didn't know that, like, when creatives starting out, there's a lot of things that people tell you should be doing. You should do events, baby showers, weddings, all this type of stuff. But really, there's only a handful of those things that really make a lot of money or make a decent amount of money. So it probably took me like 2 or 3 years to really realize that weddings was like one of those things where you can make a decent amount of money if you're good. So with you said you just saw that she was doing it? I
saw she was doing it, and I was in love with her pictures. And I was like, how do I do that? Like, it was all so clean and crisp. But I mean, going back to it, I initially didn't want to be a wedding photographer.
So why not?
I never, like, that was just not something I wanted to do.
It's stressful.
I mean, it is, but at this point, I'm cool with it. But back then, like, Beyonce released 4 that summer. And I went to Best Buy and picked up the album, and for the younger viewers out there.
You're a Beyonce fan?
I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? It's just that album had a lot of good music on it.
Got like
and
Love on Top and like a whole bunch of other good.
That album was like, I think, one of her best albums.
And it's really no real hits on that joint.
No. But it's good music.
Yeah. And it's like an album full of like B-side, like banging B-side joints.
Yep. And that's
like people don't even really talk about the album, but it's
one of her best albums. So for the younger viewers, you could go buy a CD. Yeah. You open up the CD and it had the little cover, and all of that in it, and the pictures in it.
The pictures was crazy.
The pictures in that album,
I think this conversation will lead to like a beehive.
Look, we ain't getting into that. I ain't getting into that. But those pictures inspired me. I was like, that's the type of work I want to do. And real editorial. That's what drew me to photography to begin with. But I didn't see that here. I never wanted to leave here. So I'm like, what else can I do here? That it keep, like, I want my studio in Virginia Beach. Right. So what else can I do to stay here? And I found wedding photography.
Okay. So for the people who are just starting out, as far as photography or just being a creative in general, how did you go about building your name within, wedding photography?
Meeting people.
Meeting people?
Yep. Meeting a lot of people.
Is it meeting potential clients?
No.
Or is it meeting people actually within the industry?
People within the industry.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Like,
who's one of the first people that met that kind of like put you on?
Carla Walker.
Okay.
She was a wedding planner.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, I was at my job. I was supposed to be working, but I'm emailing people and I didn't even have a business email or nothing. I'm using my regular high school email, which I don't even remember the name of it. But
what high school you went to?
Tallwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I bounced around. I could primarily Tallwood.
Yeah.
But I emailed her. I emailed a bunch of wedding planners, and I'm like, if nobody's going to hire me to shoot a wedding, this is my thought process.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hire me to shoot a wedding if I don't have a wedding or something wedding related in my portfolio.
True.
So I'm like, man, and then I found out, you can do a style shoot. Well, I don't know how to put none of this together. Let me reach out to a wedding planner.
Right.
She was the only person that responded back to my email. So she said, let's have a meeting. I was like, oh, word. She said, there's a vendor meeting tonight. Why don't you buy a ticket and come out? I'm in a room full of Hampton Roads wedding professionals.
Right.
20 years old, 21 years old, and don't even have business cards. But I'm in there just running my mouth and talking to people. And from there, man, I try every person that I got a business card from, I try to set up a meeting with them. And the following year, 2013, I did the same thing. I'm just popping up at bridal shows, networking, talking to people, running my mouth. That's what I did. And from there, people just, oh, he doesn't even have a portfolio, but I like him.
Yeah.
So let's try to give him
some more. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Okay.
I mean, it was up to me from there because I could have dropped the ball, but I was like I was saying, all the way up.
Yeah.
And that would have been it.
Yeah.
That would have been done. Because like 20, 21 years old, like you barely even get an opportunity to begin with.
Right.
And I looked young to begin with. So all of that was out the window. But like I said, man, I go back to my Dragon Ball Z analogy. You have to constantly be leveling up. You cannot stay stagnant because your opponent is going to be getting better.
That is true. That is very much true. Okay. So another question for the people who are trying to get in that industry. What are 2 to 3 things that you feel like you might have messed up on those first couple of weddings that most photographers might mess up on?
Being selfish. That's the main thing. I was going into it with a mindset of I have to get, like I would wake up that morning, I'm like, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. And then if I leave and I didn't get those things, because a wedding is just, it's chaos.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the best word I can use for it. I don't care how much you plan, how clean a timeline is. Things happen, things get thrown off, and you're not going to be able to get everything you have in your head. So when you
how's that selfish though?
Because I had this, I'm not there for the client at that point.
You there for yourself?
I'm there for myself. I'm trying to get something out of this wedding instead of just doing my job and going home. And then I'm in my feelings at the end of the night. Shit, I didn't get this. So it was a waste of my time. No, it wasn't a waste of your time. You picked up a camera, you got out, you did something, and it's the next step towards the higher end weddings that you do want to be doing.
Okay.
So I mean that I can't even give you 2 other reasons. That was the biggest thing, like being selfish.
Okay. I think for me when I first started, especially doing weddings, the one thing I really messed up on is feeling like I could shoot the whole thing by myself. Like and I was doing
like you talking about photos or video?
My first wedding was video.
Okay.
I've shot probably about 5 or 6 weddings doing photo, which I feel like I could probably do that by myself.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's a whole nother. I don't know if you know how I feel about second shooters, but
what are your thoughts on?
I don't. They're waste to me.
Really?
I do. I don't. The industry has standardized it to a point where brides feel like they have to have a second shooter there. I'm not for it. Like I don't have time.
How so? Like let's talk about it.
Okay.
So
I don't want to be editing your photos. You hired me to shoot the day with my eye and my vision.
Yeah.
Your eye is not going to be mine.
What about if it's somebody that you pick? Somebody that you know that
doesn't matter to me. I don't want to do it. And I'd rather have an assistant. I have an assistant with me there. She knows how to take photos. If I can give her a camera and we need a second shooter within that moment, she knows how to go and shoot. But I want the responsibility primarily. I don't want to have to take 15 to 2,000 photos of my own. Then I got somebody else there snapping off, taking a bunch of BS photos that I gotta end up uploading to a hard drive, sitting down editing to, and ended up using like 25 to 50 photos out of this 1,000 that you've taken, and now my time has just been wasted and money has been wasted because I paid you.
Yeah.
It's brides just feel they need it when.
But you don't. At the same time, you can't be everywhere one time.
I can plan on a timeline. I've upped my hours. That's the problem. That's the hours. You put more work in. So I'm there limited. My low end, I'm there for 9 hours.
Oh, really?
I'm there for 9 hours. 9 hours. High end, I'm there for 12. So there's nothing that I can't get within those 9 hours.
Let's talk about this for a second. Because when I do weddings, I'm there most of my packages is at 6 hours.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're messing up at. You're not there long enough to get anything, so you do need a second shooter.
But I have a second shooter.
You got one.
Yeah.
But imagine if you were there for more hours. Let's say here's how, if coronavirus hadn't messed this up for me this year, and I've had a chance to implement it because I upped it to 9 hours this year. This was the year I did it. So if I start out with the groom, which is primarily where you put in the second shooter at the beginning of the day.
Because nobody really cares about the groom.
They say it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I start with the groom, if I have a conversation with my client from the beginning, have him at least halfway dressed, have all the guys dressed.
Yeah.
I'm not getting photos of the guys getting dressed.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit, but I am getting him getting his time, you know what I'm saying, putting all this on. So at least be halfway dressed by the time I get in, so we can snap all of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you outside, get you and the guys together. 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
Done. Then I'm going up to the bride, and I'm doing.
That's where you're gonna spend the bulk.
That's where I'm gonna spend the bulk of my time at. We move into the ceremony. I know where I need to be at. Of course, I can't be at the front of the aisle and the back of the aisle at the same time. So that's why I give my assistant the camera. You get this wide shot. From there, what do I need a second shooter for? Poke a hole in it. Please help me out. Where do I need a second shooter for? After those events have happened, outside, and if you want to talk about cocktail hour, hey, that's you know what I'm saying?
That can be done by one person.
That can be done by one person. My assistant, I give her a camera, she goes. She can get some gripping grams.
But even with that, I still feel like 9 hours.
9 hours.
You can efficiently do that in 6. People trying to book me like, yo, I need you for like 10 hours. Like, you really don't need me for 10 hours.
My clientele, they want longer hours because you want first looks.
Okay.
You want portraits. Sometimes it's big, large bridal parties.
Yeah.
It's just
you got to deal with a whole bunch of people.
You got to deal with a whole bunch of people, and I promise you blink your eyes, 6 hours is gone. Because I remember doing 6-hour weddings. I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off doing it because I have to be everywhere, and then I got to conduct another photographer to go here, go there, and it's just a lot. So I'm gonna up my hours. I'm there longer.
Okay.
So the timeline can be more fixed to where Will is going to be here at 12 o'clock. He's going to leave. Reception ends at 9:30. Cool. I'm there with you all day. Okay. And it's a slower pace. You're not rushing. I'm not rushing. I'm not overextending myself. And I've helped with the timeline because nobody's throwing me around to if I'm at 8 hours. Yeah. Nobody's throwing me around. You got to be here. You got to be there. You got to be that extra, just one extra hour. Yeah. Sometimes two. Right. Extra. Just help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you. I don't necessarily agree, but I
got you, man. I know everybody doesn't. But that's just how I've learned to work in the past 9-10 years at this point. Okay. And second shooters have just been iffy for me these past. Like the best second shooter I've had was Josh, man.
Josh is dope.
Josh, that's it. Like we work well together. Him and Katrina and I, we've taken a lot of trips up and down the East Coast. And from there, that was it. But after I figured out I had an assistant and a second shooter with me, I'm like, yo.
So you don't feel like you're overworking yourself?
Not at this point. Okay. Even with 9 hours, like I'm there, but it's the timeline is so concrete and in place at this point. I know I gotta be here. I got this much time to do this. Yeah. And it's just slowly going out, man. Okay. All
right. So let's change gears a little bit.
Word.
So what is something that you have? Rewind. I feel like you gotta spend money to make money, right? So what is something tangible that you spent money on that has led to the biggest return for you?
Bridal shows. I mean, if we want to keep it in industry talk, like bridal shows.
Really?
Bridal shows.
So you mean as far as like, buying a ticket to go?
No, to get in a booth.
Oh, you got a booth?
Yeah, get in a booth to go and be set up in there. Like, you have to build a booth out. You got to buy albums. You have to get marketing material. the booth has to be on par with everybody else in there. Because if it's a BS booth, people gonna walk right by you. I've had BS booths in the past. I paid money to be at a bridal show, and the booth was trash. Nobody talked to me.
Right.
You build it up, make a nice set. People talk to you. People want to come in. So you spend $1,500, $2,000 on a booth, plus the cost to be in the show.
It's gonna lead to some money back.
It's gonna lead to a lot of money back.
Really?
God honest truth. Like, and I don't know what's gonna happen with bridal shows this year. I don't plan on doing any, but that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing I did for myself in my career.
Okay.
Was bridal shows. Gear, I know I need it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. But nothing is really like evolved to elevate your business gear wise. Okay.
I mean, outside of lighting, learning how to light, because I didn't know how to light.
Yeah.
I was a natural light photographer, meaning I didn't know how to. I don't know how to use lights.
Yeah.
It's just the cover up is what it is.
Pretty
So
much.
yeah. So buying battery operated strobes and having multiple strobes has really elevated my game.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to talk gear.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Okay. So I know recently it seems like you've been doing a lot more behind the scenes stuff, like really showing like the process of what you're doing, showing, a glimpse into like who you are a little bit more. So what was the thought process behind doing that?
Coronavirus.
Really?
God on shoot. I had no weddings to shoot this year.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to make a transition from I'm at a point now, man, I'm sick of people just knowing me as a wedding photographer.
Really?
I am. Like I'm not just,
What?
I'm not just a wedding photographer.
Okay.
Don't just lump me in as a what do I know how to photograph weddings? Do I know how to photograph weddings well? Yes, sure. But I'm no longer this person of I'm just chasing weddings at this point. I'm a creative.
Okay.
I'm a creative. I'm not just a wedding photographer. So don't just lump me into a point where, oh, he's just weddings. Like I remember one time I was out, I was in downtown Norfolk. I was going somewhere and I saw these girls I knew. And it was like, oh, that's Will, the wedding photographer. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it pissed me off. Like, what? Like I photographed more than weddings. And then at that point I knew, all right, we gotta make some changes.
Okay.
We gotta make some serious changes because I'm not just gonna be going until I'm 50 years old and be like, yo, that's the wedding photographer.
Okay. So with you saying that, like, what is the evolution of Will Hawkins like in the next year or so then? If you don't want
honestly, man, I want to be doing more commercial work.
commercial work like what?
For businesses, campaigns, fashion campaigns.
Okay. I saw you were doing like the pop-up, like at, I think Town Center, probably about a month or two ago. You were just pulling people off the street?
Oh, yeah, because I wanted to review the light. I had just got a new light, and I just wanted to see how it would work on location. So I was like, let me just try something new.
Okay.
But that I don't even know. I haven't figured it all out yet. Because it's just, this is something new that I've been going for this year. I'm still studying. I'm still reading about it. I'm still trying to, maneuver and figure out my way to, and it's just weddings all over again to me.
Really?
It's just a new puzzle.
So are you trying to get out of weddings, or are you just trying to add something else?
I still want to do weddings. Yeah. I still definitely want to do weddings. Just not as me. I don't want it to primarily be who I am and primarily be my income. Right. Because I've done, I normally do 28, 33 weddings a year.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to cut that in half.
I think.
To where, okay, I'm still doing weddings, but I have all of these other things going on over here. To where it's not, I'm not dead in the summertime. Summer weddings are going
Summer be booming.
It's going out of style, honestly. Really? Like I remember, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, June used to be lit. May is still definitely, but June and July used to be like heavy. Yeah. But it's hot outside. So you're not gonna really get kicking off again until the fall. Because everybody wants fall dates at this point. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm okay with the downtime off, but like I said, I'm a creative. I want to be shooting. I don't want to be sitting around. When am I going to be doing this?
From like November till like March.
March, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, you're kicking it up in high gear and you're doing bridal show season and you're marketing and everything like that. But that's just a rat race that I don't want to be involved in anymore.
Okay. So I know you said, you know, Corona, but and also, you know, want to be known as more as a creator. So that's why you started to show more of the behind the scenes stuff.
And not even just that, like people, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything, but I want to teach as well.
Okay.
I don't just want to hold in everything that I know. I want to give it back to people, like, because hardly anybody ever gave that back to me. It was a couple of people that helped me out. It's just like photographers, like,
that's the whole purpose of doing this.
You know what I'm saying? Photographers, it's mine, give me. I'm not you can't have it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide. Like, if you hit me up and you got a question, I'm willing to share it with you if I know the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm gonna help you figure it out because I want to know too.
Okay.
And that's just who I am. I'm not want to be the person where, nah, I'm holding this close to my chest. Like, you can't have it. A rising tide will raise all ships. So if I give this game to you, you can take it and help somebody else out. And the problem is, a lot of us have been so close to the vest with things. People just out here swimming and don't know where they're going, don't know what to do. So let me give you a life vest, help you out, so that you can go help somebody else out, so that we can get this photography thing back on the track to where people actually respect the craft, and because they don't respect the craft anymore. And a lot of it has to do with us because we don't respect it.
True.
We're undercharging. So you got clients that are like, oh, he's just a photographer. No, I work hard. Like, I'm not. You don't understand.
He'd be like, yeah, my cousin got a camera.
You know what I mean? That's my problem.
That's one of the main reasons I got out of doing photos.
Right.
Because that used to burn me up.
Right.
Like, I hated that.
Right.
Like, people be like, oh, you know, one of my cousins just got a good iPhone. We're just gonna get a photo with that.
Like, cool. You had it, but don't come back to me later.
Right.
Wishing, I wish you did this. But no, you should have saw the value to begin with. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. Yeah. But that's my take on it. I want to help people. That's why I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not this wizard that I know everything, and I know. But if I can help somebody out, and you see the behind the scenes, and it causes you to question, oh, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Why'd you call me, DM me, I don't care. Like, I'm up working all the time anyway. So, and if I can help you, I'm gonna help you.
Because it's crazy that you mentioned that, because that's pretty much like the reason why I started this show, is because when I first started out like 10 years ago, there was nobody out here that was really saying like, all right, if you want to get started, these are the things that you need to know. Right. You got this type of camera. These are the things that you need to know about your camera. So I was just like running the gun and just trying to figure this shit out.
Figuring it out on your own.
Or, just going on YouTube. And back then, YouTube wasn't really like
how it is now.
Nope. Right. So, like, this show is mainly created because this is the type of show that I would have watched 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Or when I first started, just being able to sit down with different people who are dope at what they do, but really see like how they got started, what are things they actually learned, how they got better, like all that type of stuff. So it's crazy that you say that, because that's why we're here right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing
it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So a question that I try to ask everybody is, what is something that you learned from a messed up business moment?
Maybe.
Like, what was a situation where you might have fucked up at? That you like, you know what? These are the things I'm gonna take away from this experience.
2.5, 3 years ago, I had a wedding. I was at a wedding, and it was, I forget, it was a festival going on at the beach. We were at the beach. And just so happened, on top of the festival being down there was a nor'easter as well. So the venue that we were at is not easy to work at. There isn't a lot of places where you can go and take portraits. So if I'm stuck inside, because it's a hurricane basically outside, they wanted photos on the beach. I can't make this happen. So we got the best photos we could get inside. To me at the time. Now that I know things, I could have really made that situation work. Because I know I have a different eye for things now.
Right.
But they were upset with the photos. That was the first time I ever ran into somebody that was upset with my work. And I was like, well, let's meet. Let's talk. Like, what did I miss? He was like, you know, we wanted this, we wanted that. There wasn't enough photos of the guests. So now I make a point to go around the room and get photos of each individual guest there, as many as I can get. And I also pre-scout venue. Well, if I've been there already, it's nothing. But
it's already scouted.
But if I have to, I'm online looking at stuff like, okay, this was done there, this was done there, this was done there. Just so I can cover myself in case a situation like that ever happens.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's I mean, I done had a lot of situations, but that's the one that always comes to mind because it stung my pride a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I had a situation where as far as like shooting weddings, it was a wedding that we shot at the Noah in Chesapeake.
Yeah, that's a tough. That's a tough place to shoot at. That's a tough place to shoot at. So we shot that day, and then the bride hit me up. Somebody I went to high school with. She was like, "Yeah, it's just not enough photos of me and grown." So I was like, "It ain't really too many spots out there. You're gonna get an office complex." Yeah, and it was duck.
Duck
feces everywhere. Like I can't walk you through this. Like
sometimes like bird shit on it. Still gotta go to the reception and everything.
The grass was always up high, and that place was tough to shoot at, man.
Yeah, so with that situation, I had to go out another day. She had to get makeup done, get her hair done.
I got to do that.
Yeah. We went like downtown Norfolk and got some dope shots. But like with a situation like that, it just made me realize like, yo, even if the situation isn't the greatest, just kind of like keep shooting or try to make something out.
Try to make something happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes the venues like that is hard though. So.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. But I probably could have did more with that situation. But,
you learn.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, what do you feel like is the blueprint for being a successful creative? Like what are the couple of things that you feel like if any creative does, it will lead to success? And try to give me something tangible. People be saying like, "Yeah, you got to educate yourself. You got to just shoot." Like, that's cool, but give me something real.
Constantly pick up your camera.
Okay.
Constantly pick up your camera. If you got to shoot for free, shoot it for free. That's it. That's all I can say, man. Outside of the norm, getting the education, whatever. But also just be curious. Like I said, man, from the beginning, like I don't even remember. Like I saw a photo online. I don't even know if I don't think I talked about this, but I saw a photo online when I was in 2011, and it had the bokeh was like amazing. So I tried it. I didn't know that because I had a 5.6 lens.
Yeah,
that wasn't gonna happen like that. So I went up to Rick's camera. I printed out the picture, took it up there. I was like, how do I get
how
this?
Do you do this?
And the dude was like, well, you need a 1.2 whatever glass in order to do it. Okay, so that's my next investment.
Just to get that
one type of photo, because that's the type of photos I want to take.
Yeah.
So I need that piece of glass. So just always be curious and learning. Like I need to get, why did this happen? So that I can get this or this won't happen again.
Okay.
Curiosity is what's going to get you further than talent and hustle, honestly. Because curiosity is going to make you a hustler.
Curiosity is going to make you a hustler.
It is. It's definitely going to make you a hustler because you're developing a mindset of I have to get ahead. I have to constantly get ahead. I have to constantly get ahead. If you don't have that, you're not going to survive this.
That's true. Okay. I like that a lot. I feel like that's a perfect way to do it.
I'm worried, bro.
All right, so what's next for you? What you got coming up in the new year?
Figuring life out. Still figuring life out, bro. That's it, man. I'm not going to put any plans on it because I sat in a hotel room this year in Atlanta, writing out everything I had planned to do this year. None of that happened. None of that happened. So I'm not gonna make any plans.
Shout out to COVID.
Yep, shout out to COVID. You know, and I was sitting in that hotel room in Atlanta. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I had everything planned out in a notebook, and none of that happened. So I'm not even stressing on it. I'm not tripping on it. We're gonna see what happens. But I'm gonna keep grinding until then. So that's all, man. I'm on God's good graces out here. That's all I can tell you.
All right, cool.
Yo.
So where can people find you at?
My Instagram, official Will Hawk.
You changed the name.
Yeah, I did.
Why you changed?
Because I'm official. Because I'm official, bro. It's official. Like I'm gonna be to the point where you're not just gonna be able to get on Instagram and just type in Will Hawkins and just like, oh, like who is this guy? Like how do I find him? Like it's official. Like I'm going to be official. So I'm putting it out into the universe to where I'm getting ready for what's to come. You can email me, will@will-hawkins.com, and my website, which is all weddings right now, will-hawkins.com as well. So
all right, cool.
But we working on things.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right, well, I definitely appreciate you coming here this morning and being a part of this, man. It was a great conversation.
Word, bro. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
This was dope.
No problem. So, you guys, thanks for checking this episode out. Like I said, Will is definitely a beast with the camera, beast with weddings, beast with pretty much whatever he got going on.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. So, you guys, if you like this conversation, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider following both of us, as well as sharing it with somebody who you feel like needs to hear this type of conversation. So, that's it. Once again, I'm Shy Harris, and you guys stay safe, stay running free, but keep creating, keep shooting, and you guys have a good one.